The open-world gaming trend has really taken off, promising massive game worlds with over 100 hours of stuff to do, making linear games seem kinda meh by comparison. But after a few years of open-world games hogging the spotlight, we're starting to see some cracks. Some gamers are ditching the sprawling worlds for more straightforward games because they're tired of devs focusing too much on size rather than fun. If you just do a quick Google search, you'll find tons of articles where writers are saying devs should prioritize quality over quantity when it comes to open-world maps. People are getting over the whole bigger is better thing. The 10 games I'm going to talk about in this video prove that shrinking down the map size can actually be a good thing. They've got worlds that are super detailed and interesting, even though they're not huge. Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. Back when open-world games were becoming a big deal, loads of gamers were itching to step foot into J.R.R. Tolkien's Middle-earth. And in 2014, Monolith Productions and Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment made that dream come true with Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. A game that took inspiration from Assassin's Creed and plopped players right into the Lord of the Rings fantasy realm. Shadow of Mordor boasts one of the biggest maps on this list, but compared to what we've got today, it's still pretty modest in size. Surprisingly, there weren't many gripes about its size when it first hit shelves. That's probably because the game is jam-packed with all sorts of top-notch stuff, even in its smaller space. The Simpsons Hit and Run. Known as the Grand Theft Auto for kids, The Simpsons Hit and Run rolled out in 2003, bringing Rockstar's GTA vibes to the beloved town of Springfield. Radical Entertainment mostly honed in on the driving part of GTA, making most of Hit and Run's missions about zooming from point A to point B within a time crunch. Sure, the mission variety might be a bit lacking, but cruising around the various Springfield maps is just pure fun, which is why this game made it onto my list. People have been clamoring for a remastered or even a remake of the game for more than 10 years now, but unfortunately, there's been no word on that front yet.
You remember?
Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Now, let's talk about Assassin's Creed Syndicate's map size. While its successors, AC Origins and AC Odyssey, sprawl out at 30 square miles and almost 100 square miles respectively, Syndicate goes for a more cozy vibe with its little baby map at 1.4 square miles. But don't underestimate it. What Syndicate pulls off with Victorian London is seriously cool. Even if it's not at the top of your AC favorites list, the freedom to wander around this gorgeously designed city, especially with all its verticality, is seriously satisfying. You'll feel like you're part of the hustle and bustle of the city, with historical figures like Karl Marx milling about and NPCs having a chill game of cricket in the park. Exploring London during the Second Industrial Revolution, whether you're on foot or cruising in a carriage, just feels fantastic. The atmosphere is spot on, thanks to all those lovely little details sprinkled throughout the game. It's a seriously cool experience, no doubt about it. And hey, if you're into the whole tiny map thing, this might be your last shot with an AC game like this. So if that's your jam, it's definitely worth giving Syndicate a go. Bully. Now, let's talk about a game that can be called GTA School or GTA Kids, Rockstar's Bully, which hit the scene back in 2006 and is still considered one of the company's best releases, despite its rough edges. Bully School and town might be small, but they're packed with so much stuff, you'll find some of Rockstar's quirkiest NPCs hanging out in every nook and cranny, offering up some of the weirdest and most wonderful side quests you've ever seen. Despite its compact size, the game world feels totally alive. Whether you're wandering around the boarding school or exploring the town, you'll hear kids chatting, arguing, and going about their business. They even change up their routines based on the time of day. You've got tons of freedom to interact with the world however you want, but the world also reacts to you in a logical way. Skip plus and you'll get in trouble, and yeah, the school closes at the end of the day. The music's killer, there's always something cool to see or do, and because everything's packed into such a small space, it never feels like there's any filler. It's like a little gem of a game. The Yakuza series. With the Yakuza series hitting Game Pass, Sega's finally getting the recognition it deserves for being a big player in the small open-world scene. Sega's tackled the series' small map size by packing it with tons of stuff to do. Sure, the world might not be huge, but you can hit up shops, bowl a few rounds, play darts, race pocket circuits, belt out karaoke tunes, hit the dance floor at clubs, and a whole bunch more. Plus, the game throws in some quirky side quests to keep things lighthearted. Now, it might seem odd to use the same map over and over in a series, but Yakuza ain't your average series, and Kamurocho ain't your average city. It's this exciting, mysterious, unpredictable, yet strangely familiar place. Packed with restaurants you can chow down in, NPCs with missions for you, and big stories about a city tearing itself apart, Kamurocho's got something special going on. Even though the fictional Tokyo district stays mostly the same throughout the series, you still notice the little changes, especially as the games jump through the decades. But no matter what, there's always a new character to meet, a heartfelt side story to dive into, or a lost cat to help out. As the series progresses and with the Judgment spin-off, they've added more vertical exploration, letting you dig even deeper into the city. Because it's not too big, every little part of Kamurocho feels alive and detailed. You start to feel like you're part of its history, just like the original protagonist, Kazuma Kiryu. With something to do or see around every corner, Kamurocho's become iconic, thanks to its modest size that packs a punch. Batman Arkham City. When it comes to being the ultimate protector of a city, Batman knows he's gotta have a good grip on the place, and that's exactly what he gets in the surprisingly compact open world of Arkham City. See, Arkham City is like this massive prison zone that's been cordoned off in Gotham City. Even though Batman can zip around pretty quickly, thanks to his gadgets, Arkham City doesn't feel too small. That's cause there's always something cool to check out or a villain to put in their place. Whether you're hunting down Riddler trophies or busting heads, the world's just begging to be explored. And you can tell that every little detail has been crafted with care. Sure, it might be bigger than Arkham Asylum, its predecessor, which could easily make this list too, but it still feels packed with stuff to do and places to conquer. It's not easy to create an open world that truly makes you feel like the world's greatest detective. Sleeping Dogs. Sure, Sleeping Dogs might not have the tiniest map on this list, but it's only about as big as Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and honestly, it feels massive because it's just that good. This game and its take on Hong Kong are pretty much loved by everyone, and for good reason. Even though it's under 2 square miles, Sleeping Dogs does a ton with its small space. Seriously, with just 4 districts, it manages to create a world that's super detailed, super fun to explore, and packed with stuff to do. Plus, the story sucks you right in, making the city feel even more immersive. The devs really went all out to capture the essence of Hong Kong, and it paid off big time. Reviewers couldn't stop praising how authentic and charming the city felt. Every street feels alive, the vibe is spot on, and it's the perfect backdrop for Shin's journey. Deus Ex Mankind Divided. While some folks might have wished Mankind Divided lasted longer, others appreciated its concise 20 to 30 hour gameplay, finding it refreshing not to overstay its welcome. This sentiment extends to its map of Prague, which clearly prioritized quality over quantity. Sure, the game isn't one big open world, but rather a series of smaller maps. But that's what makes it shine. It takes advantage of its limited space to create detailed environments packed with activities and rich side quests. Each area is bursting with personality, immersing you fully in its world. This is what people mean when they talk about game worlds that are a joy to explore. Impeccable world design. You'll find yourself wanting to experience every little thing because just being in the game environment feels exhilarating. Eidos Montreal intentionally kept Prague's hub world small so players would always find something interesting around the corner, avoiding the need for bland, repetitive buildings just to fill space. It's an approach that results in a world you can truly appreciate, filled with environmental storytelling and tasty bits of lore. Empire Bay, Mafia 2. Mafia 2 Snap may not be overflowing with side activities, but its lovingly crafted recreation of 1940s and 50s America is so rich and detailed that simply exploring it is a delight in itself. Every corner you turn reveals another piece of the beautifully constructed world, immersing you deeper into the experience. The sights and sounds of the city play a crucial role in building the atmosphere, enhancing your connection to the narrative and your complex relationships with the people of Empire Bay. The meticulously designed environments, both expansive and intimate, make Vito feel like a genuine character. Whether it's the area-appropriate cars with their distinct appearances and handling, or the interiors adorned with period-specific posters and trinkets, each area tells its own story. With one of Mafia 2's standout features being its writing, it's a relief that the game had a map that was not only visually stunning and detailed, but also perfectly sized to complement its narrative strengths.
Hey, we need every penny we can get right now, right? So after we finish this job, we'll split up and look for other work.
All right.
Dishonored series. In the Dishonored series, spanning 2 main games and their DLCs, you're thrown into enclosed levels without a roadmap on how to reach your objective. Each area offers multiple entry points and infiltration methods, encouraging exploration and creativity. You'll find unique details tucked away in every corner, adding depth to the world. The games emphasize player choice, allowing you to approach situations as a violent force or a stealthy ghost. It's like an open world experience in the sense that you can tackle levels in your own way, but it's contained within smallish arenas of play. This setup gives you the freedom to experiment and adapt your play style to each situation, making every playthrough feel fresh and dynamic.
The carriage rails are electrified.